Yeah, good morning, guys. Yeah, 11:56. It's not noon yet. It's just before lunchtime. All right. What I've got here is I have, some of the other kit that I bought, and because I have to wait for this other kit to come from the USA, so it's going to take over 10 to 14 days, I guess. So anyway, in the meantime, I know you're probably getting tired of me dwelling over on this networking issue with the Morningstar equipment. Well, I've got this. This is a TCP/IP or Ethernet to serial or RS-485. So on this side, we've got our RS-232 serial and also the RS 485 or 422 as well. So anyway, now that I know that I need to go and from the DC input here, these devices do not supply power to pin 4 and number 7. So positive on pin 4, negative on pin 7. And so I've got a female or a male serial connector here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, from my power input here, where I put 12 volts into it, I'm going to run another jumper over to this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can go from the serial output of a controller. I've got another controller that's right over here. This is a PWM PWM controller. So I've got another PWM, TriStar TS60 PWM. I've got another one here. And what I think I'm going to do is I've got my converter up there, and just for shits and giggles, I'm going to take power off of that converter, that DC to DC converter, right? Take 24 and turn it to 12. I'm going to take power off of that, energize that, and I'm going to take off of the 12 volt side, which is 13.8 volts, and I'm going to go into this. So I need to read the manual about 1 or 2 more times to go and make sure that this is going to accept the 13.8 volts, because it should take 13.8 volts. 12 volts is a float voltage of 13.8 volts. So I just need to clarify that before I go and I burn it, because this was a pretty expensive gadget as well, because it's from the same company as my first ones, this Votech. So anyway, because now this is the Modbus, so anything that says Modbus on it has always been really expensive. If memory serves correctly, I don't believe that this one was expensive as that serial to 485. I think this one was a lower cost. Don't quote me, don't remember, don't have the receipts in front of me, so I'm just going on memory. But it should be able to take 13.8 volts. If not, I'll still step it down to 12. That's not a problem. I've got other converters. I think I have another. Yeah, I've got another converter in here. So I mean, an identical one. So it's 24 in. I can get 12 volt out. So it'll be exactly 12 volt. So I mean, if I can't use 13.8 volt, from that, I'll still control it at 12 volt. But just got to read that manual one more time. I'm kind of anal about that as well. So anyway, I'm going to go and solder in those wires from my DC input. So if I get 12 volt on pin 4, then the negative of the 12 volt on pin 7, I should be able to put power into the serial networking hardware, whatever you want to call it, that module. So if I get power into that, and then I'm just going to go and take this Ethernet and I'm going to set it up, because again, I've already set this up. I know the IP address. I already know the IP address that I've given this device. The serial is already set in on the board here, on the EPROMs here. So in theory, if I get 12 volts into that device, I should be able, and I know this IP address, and I have it on my router, I do believe, and if it's on the same network, MSView should, in theory, see this. Even though it's not what I want it to do, I want everything to be on the one IP address, but since I've got a little bit of time and this is eating away at me because it's not working, I'm going to try this. Alright, so anyway guys, be good, be safe, be well. I'm going to go and do some soldering and kind of set this stuff up, and we'll see what happens. I'll show you once I get this all done. Alright, be good, be safe, be well. Bye-bye. Alright, hello again from Hong Kong. Now, I have soldered the two wires from the DC input side, and it comes over to pin 4 and pin number 7 on the serial. So again, so now the connector on this is a male. It is a male connector, so I have on the actual cable, it's the female going into it, and then the output of the cable, this cable, is male. So, and a male, in industry standard, the male is on the left-hand side. Pin number 1 is on the left-hand side top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. That's how it goes. So, just to verify this, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because I don't have my glasses on. These webcam glasses don't fit with that. So, I'll kind of get it so you can still kind of keep an eye on my meter, because I don't want to make too many sparks here, even though it's low voltage here. Not even like 1 amp. But okay, here is, looking at pin number 7 here. Pin number 4, sorry. Having a hard time, I gotta squint. I can't see far away, I can't see close up, I'm just blind. Okay. So, as you can see, I've got 12.1617 volts. Let's just say 12.1 volts. So I got 12.1 volts coming out of the serial, out of this converter, out on the serial connector on pins 4 is positive, pin 7 is negative. So I've got that comes out. So according to their documentation that Morningstar has, because that's all their technical support have done, is point me to page 50. And then page 51 is where it says that power thing that I admit to my fault that I overlooked. Actually, I just didn't read it. I was too busy looking at the pinouts like this. I was looking at these pinouts. So anyway, so I've got power. Now this power is, according to their documentation, says these two pins, now once I connect it to this serial connector, as you can see, there's a serial connector, and that once I connect this to it, it should energize the serial hardware, and that will read everything from the other side, which is the charge controller side. So that should do it, and then pins 2 and 3 should be passing the data. Actually, I think it's just pin 2. And that's the highway that the information travels on. So now, once I plug this in, the other thing is now I've energized it. If you can see, I've got a green light. Now this controller is set up for 12 volt because I've got it for it's a backup right now. But it's also, when I install the generator, it'll be for the generator bank, which is 12 volt, which will drive my navigation gear. It's exclusively navigation gear, radar, depth sounder, fish finders, all that other kind of stuff. Everything else, I use these converters from 24 volt to 12 volt. Because 24 volt, I can use smaller wires, and then 12 volt, I want this close, so I don't have to use such a thick wire. Thicker wire, more money. So anyway, this is set up, and I've connected it using the serial to USB, and I've just programmed it as number 10 to make sure that the serial cables are working. So I've done a TriStar setup. Okay. Now, it's well seated. It's in. Yes, it is in. So this serial connector is now going to this. I'm connected to the network. I have got power to it. And as obviously I've got power out to this. Plus it says I'm connected to the network. So, thus, everything should be good. So now, let's go and let's verify that the device is connected through the IP, through the network. So I know the IP address for that converter is 192.168.0.125. I hit enter. Oh, poof, there we go. Okay, so password is admin and admin. And no, I don't want to say that password. Okay, so here we are. My Modbus converter. Modbus, again, the word Modbus protocol. This is what we need to pass. We're passing Modbus. So again, now here's another verification that this equipment that I'm buying from this Votech that has all these certificates and all that stuff for Modbus, and because the United States of America, for all their telecommunications, they're pretty strict on that. And they're made and they're used in the United States of America. Also in Europe, has CE certification as well. So anyway, so here it is. It's working. I've got all that. My serial port type to pass data is on the RS-232. I've got the fastest baud rate that I believe it can have. And no, not the absolute fastest, but I'm at 19200. That sounds fast enough to me, because a lot of this networking stuff I know just enough to get the job done and also to be dangerous to those around me. But anyway, I just know that that's good enough. And I do believe it should be a server. The connection mode is a server because it's serving information to the software through the network, correct? Because again, I don't have a remote host IP set up. Because I'm, like on the RS-485 that I have out there, those converters, now those are connecting through it would be the MPPT is the actual server, and each device is a client. And that's the way those are set up, but this is an actual server, and I'm coming in on Ethernet. That's my knowledge. If I'm wrong, please correct me. So I've been having too many problems with this. I would really love some positive input. All right, so now here's my system status. Modbus converter, static IP. Again, confirming my connection port is 502, and 502 is the port that Modbus protocol travels on through Ethernet and through my local area network. I've got MAC addresses. I have all that. Everything seems to be working. So, okay. So let's minimize that. So I know that that is working. So now let's open up MS View and devices. Let's do an auto search. Now the auto search automatically comes up with the MPPT, as it always has. So I know that that's working very well, because that on the board has the Ethernet connection. So anyway, so it's not coming up. Well, I don't want to connect with it. That's not the one I want. I want this PWM controller. So we're going to do a manual connection. So, and I know it's a TriStar. So we'll go on that. And I'm connecting to it through TCP IP. And again, I have to put in that IP address that was on. So that's 125. And I know that the controller, I've changed that, is controller number 2. And I'm using port 502, and that's already been verified, that that's the port that it's going to transport Modbus protocol. I said OK. Now I've got to do a right click, and I need to connect. Dunk, same error. Unable to open connection to TriStar Control did not respond to Modbus read request. So the PWM is not responding to a Modbus read request. So, okay, guys, I'm having the same damn problem. Now this is the third PWM, TS60 PWM controller. There's a third one. So, okay, so now maybe I am doing something wrong. Well, I have to be doing something wrong. I am doing something definitely wrong. So let's delete that. So let's try something different. This just for giggles here. Where did I put my? Oh, here's a serial cable. This is a serial to USB. And just for giggles, let's take because this. So I need the female side. So let's take off. Let's disconnect this controller. Let's disconnect this controller from that device, and now let's just go straight in because I want to make sure that that connection's working. So let's use this serial to USB. So firstly, I need to connect it here. We need to get her connected. Okay, da-dunk. Okay, so I heard something happen there. So let's get up to my computer. Let's get up to a device manager. And my device manager, so what we got for a COM port? So it is COM port number 9. COM port number 9 is plugged in. Okay, so COM port number 9. Number 9, that's going to be our lucky number, I hope. So now, let's plug this in. So that's COM port number 9. And that, and devices. Well, looky there. The TS60 is on COM port number 9. So let's hit COM port number 9. Let's connect to that. So I can connect straight using USB. Now again, this is passing less than 12 volts. I've used 9 volts. I've used 12 volts. This must be on, I don't know if it's 12 volts or if it's 5. I think it's 5 volts. USB is like 5.5 volts. All right, so that's that. So let's get the properties to it. So anyway, the control address is number 2. Just as I had before, COM port, the control device, as I said I programmed it earlier, is control number 2. And as you can see here, I've got data's passing. It's working fantastic. Okay. So, all right. So I know that it's working, and that's working on a COM port. So I know that this cable is actually working. This cable I have plugged in to that is working. That is verified. So let's disconnect that, and let's delete it. Okay. So I know that this cable is working. This cable comes from that computer, from serial to USB, connects straight to that device, and I'm seeing it. Now I've got this, and now I am now powering the inside, the same as that USB is doing. It's powering the inside, that whatever network data stuff, CPU, whatever you want to call it, it's powering it, and only pins 2 and 3 are sending data. Yeah, so now there it is. And again, it's control number 2. That is verified control number 2. Device, manual connection, TriStar. But I'm not using COM port, I'm using TCP. And again, it's been verified. 1, 2, 5 is the end. It is control address number 2. Number 2 again. Hit OK, and I hit connect. Dunk. It's not working. Unable to open connection to TriStar. Control did not respond to Modbus read request. Well, if it works on a COM port, but that doesn't work on the Ethernet. So the 2 controllers, the 2 other PWM controllers that I have out in my control box, they're having the same thing. I'm going through a Modbus controller. I've got the power. That's been verified. 4 and 7. And and according to their book, pin 4 must be positive. Pin number 7 must be negative. Got it. I just all this kit I mean, what could be wrong? And my pins, I know my pins are right because where I've put the power to it, here's an industry standard. Now, I'm not sure if you're able to see this, but again, on the male and the female of a DB9 serial connector, on the female, pin number 1 is on the top right, and pin number 1 on a male is top left. So when they come together, and that's a straight through cable. That is a straight through cable. I've got these devices. These are the other ones. This one, again, I make this Yacht Guardian thing. But anyway, that's a whole different song. This one I've modified, again, so I put this label on it. So this one I've modified does the same thing. Power is there. Everything else should be just transferring data. Why does a Modbus converter not work to it? Because again, Morningstar technical support, I'm on my own. They just point to a book, and I've read the book. So guys, I'm trying every option that I have available to me, and I'm buying the kit, buying the hardware. I'm making every effort, and I would hope someone out there, worldwide web, off of YouTube, could go and give me some assistance, because it's Modbus verified. It is Modbus verified because it is a Modbus controller, and everything passes on connection port 502, which is Modbus. COM works fine, but anything else I do doesn't work. So, I don't know. I got this beer from, a mate brought some beer over the other day, or last night, and it's called night beer. I definitely feel like jousting some hardware here, but I don't know. But we know it works. We know it works through the USB. But that's not how I want it to work. I wanted everything to go through the gateway on that MS, or on the MPPT controller. Oh, that's good. Good and cold. So, here's another thing we could try. I don't know. Right now, everybody that's watching this, I suppose you're probably thinking I'm like a train wreck here, but I am, because I don't know. See, let's do a search. Let's do an auto search. And now with this, I see no transfer across. I'm able to connect to it, so I know that this cable is working. Right now, there's no data passing through. So, okay, well, I guess the hardware is crap. Alan buys really crappy hardware, doesn't he? I know, and I really researched this company, this Votech. Yeah, a lot of the cellular towers and cell companies and subcontractors and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, it's verified to work, but not with Morningstar. Oh, you gotta laugh at it. But anyway, guys, I think I've tried everything. I don't think there's anything else I can try other than buy Morningstar's proprietary stuff, and thus I have done. But I spent a lot of money and wasted a lot of time. But at least I tried. I tried to make it work, so. And I've had some fun doing it. Actually, I haven't had a lot of frustrating times. And I haven't learned anything. That's the thing. I have not learned anything. In science and experimenting and that, I've made all kinds of different circuits, Bedinis and Tesla stuff. But the thing is, when you learn a way not to do something, I haven't even learned a way not to do something. I've just wasted time. Yeah, that is hilarious though. If you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? But anyway, guys, I've tried every effort. And every piece of kit that I have, and that I still have. I was almost kind of thinking about it. Yeah, where is it? It's in here. But because I've got, again, it's from the same company. I spent a lot of money with that company. But again, I have this, mainly I'm using this for the watts view, and that because it has the 4 ports, connects USB, plus I've got that extra grounding for lightning protection, so and it isolates, so I can isolate these through the USB so it don't blow up my computer. But anyway, I was thinking about actually going and taking voltage off of this and putting that through there and trying different ports. I'm not going to do it. This is strictly for the watts view, and I'm going to keep it because it works. And so if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that one ain't broke, and I don't want to fix it. I want to keep it and I want to get the watts view. But that's not going to go up until I get my desk up on the top deck. But that's in the main salon there. But I have to close that all in. That's a long way around. That'll probably be in March by the time I close that in. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks a lot for watching. My networking using the equipment that I have right now has come to an end. We'll just wait for Morningstar stuff. Once Morningstar stuff comes, then I know it's just going to work because it's all proprietary. So, all right. Be good, be safe, be well. Bye-bye. All right. Hey, guys. I have a hard time giving up. Now, the thing is here's the serial to USB. Serial to USB. Now, remember we're dealing with pins 4 and pins 7. So pin 4, again, I don't have my glasses on. Pins 4 and pin 7 right now have 0 voltage going through them. And I got MSView open. So, but now, if I do a search, a manual search, and then I go to pins 4 and to pin 7, I'm having a hell of a time here. I just had it before. But pins 4 and pin 7. Now, when it's on the search, and I go to pins 4 and 7, I get it's 12.5 volts. 12.49, 12.5, all dependent, okay. But anyway, so now that's when I'm doing the search. So now let's cancel the search. So then let's go back to pins 4 and to pin 7. And as you can see, I have 0 voltage. So again, I mean, that just verifies that pins 4 and pin 7 have to provide voltage to that Morningstar controller for it to come back, and this thing does it. But all these converters and that I have here, and I've ran that, but I'm still going to, on Monday, I'm still going to talk, because I could probably get, if I talk to the engineers again and say, hey, what I want is when this software, Modbus software, calls up the request to grab data, voltage needs to go on, pins 4 and pin 7 to the device to energize it or something, because just running those jumpers obviously it just didn't do it. I mean, because there's, I don't know. I don't want to give up. I want it to work. But anyway, okay. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm giving up. I'm just going to wait for the new ones. Okay. Anyway, thanks for your patience and tolerating my videos where I'm basically using it as being therapeutic to vent. And hopefully you guys learned something out of it, because I've learned a lot about this Morningstar. You know, and again, when you have proprietary stuff is that. And I'm on my own when it comes to networking from Morningstar, so hopefully this proprietary stuff will work, and then everything will work with the manuals. Okay, be good, be safe, be well. Bye-bye.